Salutations! Here it is. Done. Completed. Put together. Finished-ish. I mean, let's be honest, it's still missing a piece. And whether or not I'm going to actually get that on there is a different story. Because this, right here, is the last piece. And I'll be honest when I say, it was on there. It's the piece that's right up underneath this armpit. The other side, it fell off too, but I was able to put that on as I was putting this together, and then as I was putting the arms together, this one fell off. I'll get to that. Ultimately, this is really cool. This was really fun to put together. It was a challenge, but he turned out really, really cool. As I'm turning him around here, so you can see all the different details and the glints and the light. Actually, I'll just kind of get in a little bit closer here to him. There you go. Right up close. You know, these model kits are really kind of fun things to do. And I mean, people who know how to put these things together are already seeing where I've messed up and things like that. And that's fine. It doesn't need to be perfect. All in all, I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys had fun watching it. I don't know why you would sit there and watch all of it, but you know, if you did, great. Hopefully you learned a few little bits and tips here, slowing it down, or maybe you just sped it up and went through the whole thing and jammed out to the weird sounds that the music was making. Bottom line is, this is a super mega ultra advanced model, at least for my skill set. And as such, it was tough. Probably the biggest issues for me were the small little details, such as his headlights. As you can see, these things are kind of just going every which way they can, like a really bad boob job. Especially this one here. This one just fell apart on its own. It's right now being held together with super glue, and that's the best I could get it. There's just different little bits and pieces that they're too small to properly do. And you probably saw how, as I was putting together, how I struggled with some of those small little pieces and things like that. The venting on his chest and on his legs, that kind of stuff. I mean, it's so tiny and so, part of me wants to say unnecessary, but it really turns out cool when you get into that detail. The different color lines in here and things like that. And you look at him, and he looks solid. He looks like a solid, full-on toy, even down to his feet. But if I give it a jiggle, you can see he's a wiggly guy. There's just not much. I mean, especially the gun. Everything about the gun is just jiggly, and a lot of that is. You're going, especially in the gun, you're going a cylinder into a flat plate, into a cylinder, into a flat plate, into a cylinder, into a flat plate, into another cylinder, into a flat plate, or a cone, into a cylinder. And actually, a lot of these cylinders are two separate cylinders that go like this to make a cylinder. They're two halves that make it a cylinder. The connections aren't the best. Even after I put it together on camera, I actually walked away and took this and had to go in and hook pieces and re-hook them and solidify it. And even solidified, it's a wiggly mess still. The torso went together really well. The chest and the torso and the waist. The waist went together solid as a rock. These things went together. The biggest issue that I had with this chest is the armpits, which you're not going to be able to see it, but his armpit here and on the other side, that same piece that I showed you earlier, anytime I picked it up and moved it or was doing anything, my fingers held onto those instantly. And, you know, it's holding onto them, and every time that I'd be doing something, I would touch and it would bend. And it would touch and bend, it would touch and bend. You know, and when it comes to these things, you bend one, it's fine. It's secure, it's stable. You bend back, it's a weak mess. You bend a third time, that thing's falling off. You know it's going to fall off. And those things, I don't know how many times I bump, knock. It just could not be helped. And the thing is I just built his chest. I built the iconic semi chest. How could I not? Eventually, I set it down and I left it. But those, I wish there was another locking point for those little teeny tiny pieces. They kind of needed another piece to hook into them here sideways, because it's kind of a key piece. And granted, it is his armpit. Without looking at it, you'll never see it. You're never going to get under there. And a couple other people come over and they look at it, they're like, oh, that looks really cool, Thunder. And they refuse to touch it. And the reason why is because he's so jiggly. And again, he looks like a solid brick, like the actual toys. He's not. He is light as a feather. And when I pick him up, I try to pick him up like this to support everything. But he is super, super light, super jiggly. I'm going to have fun building these things. The tools really, really help. And even when I was doing the big assembly here with the legs and everything, putting everything together, getting the caps and the shoulder pads were, I don't know if they're cut wrong. I don't know if it's me. That's most likely the problem. But none of this was lining up right. I could only get like maybe 2 of the 4 slots on the caps to line up right. But they're on there, they're good enough. But even doing that, I took the whole torso and boink, popped it out. And this is after everything's been assembled, because those are the last things you put on. And I could not get this into his body to rehook the tab back here, this back tab. So what I ended up having to do was take this off of this and fish it through the cracks on his waist into here and hook. Little pieces of metal like this are invaluable in putting these guys together. Tweezers work great, and you saw me use the tweezers a lot. You saw me using the pliers a lot. These I just bought just to do these things with, and it's been a huge help, because being able to grab and twist helps. And again, you guys that put these things together and do a good job at it know that I've been doing this wrong the whole time, because every tab that I have is a fold over tab for me. I know half the tabs are fold over tabs, the other halves are twist tabs. And you're just supposed to twist them and that'll lock them into place. I want to fold them down. I want everything to be folded down. And maybe that's to my detriment. And that's why I ran into so many different little issues. Really turned out fantastic. You know, the tires looked really good. I mean, these are supposed to be round canisters. But you know what? They look really good. The gun looks good. His feet look awesome. Detail's insane. Yeah, I really like, everything looks good. Each one of those fingers is individual. That was crazy. The fact that he's got black fingers but a purple hand, or a blue hand, that's kind of odd. That's never gonna not be funny to me. That's never not going to be funny. It's just not ever going to not be funny. His chest, the stomach. I mean, Optimus Prime is supposed to be a big, blocky bruiser. I don't know if he's supposed to have a skinny, six-pack ab like that, but it works. It works for him. The Autobot logo, that was kind of a fun little thing. Smokestacks, if you're looking at them, those are wrong because they're inside out. Those are inside out. But you know what? I kind of like it. It looks fine. It's extra texture on it. Fine. There's the MU logo on his back. The head looks really good. I questioned the head just because it's his face, his actual face part here is just yellow. And you can see on the detail where it's got the eyes. And I thought that was just going to be like a big yellow blob. It kind of is. But he does have his nose there that breaks it up. And, I mean, the toy has yellow eyes. But yeah, it was really, really fun. And I can't wait to do the next one. I think it's going to be Megatron is the next guy that I do. And so now we're going to do some comparison. Because if you do anything with a Transformer on the internet, especially on YouTube, you always do a comparison. Here he is in comparison to a previous metal Optimus Prime that I did. As you can see, these little guys are pretty teeny tiny. I mean, that's doesn't even really come up to his knee. He has to reach up to punch the top of his knee. You know, and these guys are, and these were pretty fun. This was the first one I did. I got this as a Christmas gift. Gave me the bug for doing these things. That's a massive, stark difference. So you can tell I started here and went to here. That's a big jump, skill set from here to there. So again, that's why there's probably a lot of mistakes in this guy. But again, I still had fun doing them. So we'll just move him off to the side. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna set you over there. And next, we're gonna have him here next to his, to the one and only original. There he is, next to G1 Optimus Prime in the flesh, looking good. Look at that. Look at the detail. Look at that. I mean, they nailed it. They nailed it. That's just, it's insane. Yeah, that is insane how they did that. It looks so cool. Now, granted, he's only got the one gun. You know, the G1 came with the two guns. But, I mean, look at that. That is so really well done. So there he is, G1 Optimus Prime, looking good. Color's a little off on mine. It's an old toy. It's an old toy. It's a little faded. Old toy. Really cool. Has trouble holding on to his guns there. And here he is. You know what? We're just scooch on over here. Here he is next to Masterpiece Optimus Prime. This is MP2, not the standard for all Masterpiece stuff, which is MP10. I do not have an MP10. It's forward one. There he is to an MP2. You see how he compares to that. Clearly somebody's got bigger smokestacks, and that's okay. Yeah, why not? I mean, if he came in white, there he is with Ultra Magnus. So you can see basically how tall of a toy that is compared to our little model here. So yeah, really cool, really fun. Thanks for coming along and enjoying the adventure with me. We're just going to get everybody here in the shot. And hopefully I'll get more of these out here soon. There we go. There is my Optimus Prime family. Thank you for watching. Go to bed.